Fellow clickbaiters and members of the Brethren, I bring you here today to discuss Mother Moocake. His smack-talking has gotten worse, and despite our best efforts, despite sending many clickbait operatives to find and destroy him, all our efforts have failed. His resilience has left me no choice, my brethren. We must bombard this Mother Moocake with the shittiest clickbait we can, in order to weaken him and draw him out, so that we may destroy him and continue our goal of clickbaiting the multiverse. I am sanctioning the use of the forbidden clickbait. Clickbait so degenerate and shameful that even our Confederacy keeps it locked up. Unleash the forbidden arsenal and send forth the spectre of shitty animation.
Is this thing even working?
Oh, Danny boy!
How's it hanging, suckers and fuckers? Welcome back to the worst show on the internet. There are many different communities on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, and usually each of those communities is based around a certain genre of content. And thanks to factors like greed, stupid people, incompetence, clickbait, and poor life choices, every single one of those many genres of content has been completely desecrated. No form of content is safe. All the good genres have been reproduced poorly for attention, and all the shit genres of content just continue to devolve further and further into themselves like inverted tumours. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to look at perhaps one of the oldest and most sacred genres on YouTube. Animation. More specifically, we're going to look at the low-quality, clickbait-ridden sect of animation that exists solely to cause people pain and waste their time. Because hey, this is YouTube, and nothing is sacred. Now, avid scrollers of this abhorrent website are probably familiar with seeing stuff like this. Occasionally it'll just creep into your sidebar when you're watching videos and just sort of lurk there, trying to masquerade as a normal video, but just not quite cutting it. And if you click on one of these videos, you're introduced to a seriously demented precipice that I like to call the shitty Storytime animation alleyway. A twisted little corner of YouTube that's populated by channels solely dedicated to shitting out some of the worst animated content you've ever seen, as quickly as their stubby, inbred little fingers will let them. Just as much as they can, as quickly as they can, solely for money and attention. Now, before we go any further, I just want to make it very clear that I'm not ragging on animation content in general. There's a lot of seriously good animated content on YouTube, and there's a lot of seriously good Storytime animation content on YouTube as well. This stuff, however, it's not good at all. Usually when you think of Storytime animation, you think of a channel with lots of character and personality that puts genuine time and effort and soul into their animated content. This sort of content, no, it's not like that. Not at all. The first thing you'll notice is all of these subpar Storytime animation channels, they're all carbon copies of one another. There is literally nothing unique about any of them. Take these two channels, for example. They both have near identical names, channel banners, video titles, and thumbnails. In fact, they're such carbon copies of one another, they've even both got shitty secondary channels where they upload emotional clickbait. The kind of emotional clickbait that you usually see on Facebook, of all hellholes. And much like the channels themselves, the content is all identical to one another. Unless you're explicitly told, you cannot tell which channel the content has come from, because it's all so similarly shit. If you were to take the love child of a clickbait challenge and an Ask Reddit text-to-speech video, send it to a forced labour camp for 7 years, and then dunk it in a vat of acid, you'd be left with one of these Storytime animation videos.
After getting off the phone with Jessica, my boss, Mr. Billings, gave me the details of the promotion.
Right, first off, this animation is wank. I'm sorry, there's no sugarcoating this, it's complete wank. Don't get me wrong, I know that animating is a very difficult skill to learn, and hell, I can't animate for shit. However, from a channel whose entire brand is built around Storytime animation, you'd expect a bit more quality than this. You'll notice that the thumbnail looks completely different to the animation as well, because even the people that have made this have realised that the quality is just... They've just put much better quality art in the thumbnail in a desperate attempt to fool people into thinking that this is an actual good animated video. It's not.
I remembered the first time I laid eyes on Jessica in the supermarket.
Yeah, sorry, but I don't care actually about how you met your girlfriend in some boring supermarket. What has this got to do with the story? Oh yeah, that's right. Fucking nothing!
Her curly red hair bounced lightly on her shoulders as she walked from aisle to aisle, placing items in her cart.
No shit! She's putting things in her shopping cart? What else is she going to be doing in a supermarket? Masturbating? This is the textbook definition of filler. They clearly don't have enough stuff to milk this video to 10 minutes, so they're just going to put whatever they can in to stretch the time. No matter how boring or unconsequential to the plot it is, just shove it in quickly until we hit over the 10-minute mark.
My hand touched the light switch and the wall began to move. I slowly walked down the staircase, wondering why my girlfriend of 2 years never told me about this secret room.
Let's just make something very clear quickly, right? This clearly didn't happen. This story is fake. It is so clearly completely made up. As I understand it, all of these shitty Storytime animation channels have a gimmick of you can submit your stories and you'll get them animated on the channel. They probably don't quality check these stories, which means you could submit the most low-grade, clearly made up, pointless bullshit possible, and they probably still animate it.
I looked around the room and there were shelves mounted on the walls. My eyes widened as I realized what the jars contained. Eyeballs, faces, intestines, and even hands. I heard a muffled scream coming from the corner. "What the hell, Jessica?" I said when I saw a woman chained and gagged onto a table in the corner of the room.
This video is either complete bullshit made up by the channel owner, or complete bullshit made up by some random degenerate on the internet.
I could see what was going on in the room. My hands felt clammy as I watched Jessica walk down the stairs and into the room. She walked straight to the table and the woman who was now struggling against her restraints. The blood drained in my face as I watched my girlfriend change into something unknown. Her curly red hair disappeared, and in its place was a long, protruding head.
Oh, fuck right off. You expect me to believe that your girlfriend is a shape-shifting monster that kidnaps people and chops them into pieces and keeps them in jars? What planet do you think I'm from, you moron? This has got to be a shitpost. Someone has to have sat down and gone, right, let's write the most deliberate, meme-ridden shitpost possible and send it to one of these animation channels. And the animation channel then likely got this deliberately obvious meme-ridden shitpost, looked at it and went, this is pretty good material, let's animate it.
Jessica laughed and ignored my question. "I don't believe you've ever met Howard, my boss." Jessica looked towards the kitchen and my eyes followed. Howard stepped out of the kitchen and my eyes grew wide. "Pleasure to meet you, Brian. My name is Howard. Howard Rodriguez. Want to know what happens next? If this video gets to 30,000 likes..."
Wait, it's a cliffhanger? No way. No way. Actually, get fucked. Sorry, I'm just searching for a part 2 and... like, there isn't one. I've just wasted 12 minutes of my life. You clickbait bullshit weaving pillocks. And this was made like 2 months ago as well, so there probably isn't going to be a part 2. If this doesn't prove that no effort or passion is put into these videos, I don't know what will. Fucking hell.
I was 19 and about to graduate from high school. But then my math teacher, Mr. Cumberbatch...
Oh, your math teacher's name is Mr. Cumberbatch, is it? Yeah, right, yeah, of course it is. I totally believe you. Can you smell that? I think I smell bullshit, guys. I'm completely convinced that this one is just a fan fiction submitted by a 14-year-old girl. Oh my god, like my Wattpad fan fictions aren't getting enough traction. I really need a way to, like, blow up my stellar literature. I know, like, I'll submit one of my stories to this Storytime animation channel and it'll get, like, loads of clicks. That's like totes big brain LeMayor.
Mr. Cumberbatch told me I'd failed his class and would have to repeat the year. I started crying and begged him to show mercy and let me pass. But he said, no, and shook his head. In a last attempt, I gave him a big hug and said, please, Mr. Cumberbatch, isn't there anything I can do?
This is literally a script from a porno.
This might shock you, but it was my first time. And because of my inexperience, I forgot to tell him to use protection. So 2 weeks later, I found out I was pregnant. A woman opened the door, and she was pregnant too! I asked her if she was the wife of Mr. Cumberbatch, and she said yes. And I looked straight into her eyes and said, Your husband got me pregnant and he has no interest in taking responsibility for his mistake. I hoped she would get angry at her husband, but instead she got angry at me, screaming, "You bitch! You've seduced my husband, you dirty bitch!" The next day, she came to my house and used a golf club to break in through a window, so I fled to the rooftop and called the police. 2 weeks later, she was sentenced to 24 months in prison.
Is it just me, right? Or does this story have no idea where it wants to go tonally? Like, 1 minute it's, oh, the teacher knocked me up, he's the villain, hate him, guys.
He said, "Look, my pregnant wife is in prison and we both know she is insane. I will divorce her as soon as possible and I'd like you to come live with me. It will be the best for both you and the baby."
And then the next minute it's like, oh, the teacher's actually the victim here with a psycho wife and we love each other really. And this is a story about how, against all odds, we come together and start a beautiful, happy family.
But then I saw how Mr. Cumberbatch preferred his other daughter over mine. "I will move out, but I expect you to pay me $2,000 in child support each month." Of course, he told me he didn't have enough money to do that. But I continued. "If you don't pay me the money, I will tell the school authorities that you got me pregnant while I was one of your students. I'm sure they will fire you for that."
And then suddenly out of nowhere it's U-turned again. And now the main character's like, what, blackmailing him for more money?
Meanwhile, I moved back in with my parents and life became much easier for me. With the $2,500 Mr. Cumberbatch sends me each month, I have enough money to feed my daughter and party through the weekends. But Mr. Cumberbatch had to move into a cheaper and smaller house. He couldn't afford his old rent anymore.
I'm sorry, everyone in this story is an asshole. Whose side am I supposed to be on here? Share my story. Quick advice from Mother Moocake here. If one of the people working for your channel wrote this story, do yourself a favor and fire them. This particular video, by the way, has the worst animation quality out of all the shit I watched. It looks like a GoAnimate video on hard drugs. Actually, that's basically what all of these Storytime animation videos are. They're just glorified GoAnimate videos.
Hello, my name is Mildred. And today I'm here to tell you my totally real, completely legit, not fake at all story about how Obama stole my boyfriend. It all started when I was walking home one day and happened to pass a restaurant. I glanced in the window and could not believe my eyes. There in the corner of the restaurant was my boyfriend Joey having a date with Obama. So I stormed into the restaurant, told Joey we were done, and then fucking killed him and Obama. What a cool, totally not complete bullshit story, everyone, right? Anyway, like his video and comment and subscribe for more poorly made, rushed animations about totally real events, you guys. Peace out.
Audio Jungle.
And today for My Story Animated, I'm going to tell you the bizarre story of how I hid my boyfriend in my closet for 5 years.
Again, right off the bat, this story is just so clearly bullshit.
I hid my boyfriend in my closet. I hid my boyfriend in my closet.
I hid my boyfriend in my closet.
The lip animation is just totally off with the speaking as well. Like, it's not even trying to be synchronized with the dialogue. You can tell that so much care and consideration has been put into this video, can't you guys?
I was anxious to see Jerome because he was my boyfriend and he'd disappear all summer. I was so mad at him. How could he do that to me? A couple of days later, Jerome appeared out of the blue in college and said, "Surprise!" I was walking through the hall and thank God Sarah was with me because I was suddenly filled with mixed emotions. Jerome hugged me and I stood still like a statue. I didn't know what to do. He then said he was late for class, but was hoping to see me afterwards.
So, you don't hear from your boyfriend for months, and then suddenly he reappears, and he seems genuinely pleased to see you. And instead of, like, you know, asking for his side of the story, or giving him the benefit of the doubt, you just decide that, yeah, he was absolutely trying to destroy your life and hurt your feelings. Yeah, no, there's no point, like, asking for his side of the story or anything like that. No, I'm just gonna go complete psycho and kidnap him. Brilliant idea!
Jerome was getting weaker since I only fed him a small amount of food. He'd stopped asking for forgiveness, and now he started to beg for mercy. So I kept him for another couple of months, and then months turned into years. I got used to my new routine. I didn't have to go outside. Everything I needed, I ordered it online. And Sarah was the best friend ever. She stood by my side all the time.
Wait. That's not how things happened. Hi, I'm Jerome.
Oh shit, my boys, it's a bait and switch. My man Jerome's sidled in here to tell his side of the story and destroy the opposition with facts and logic.
I'm here to tell you the real story of how I was the true victim here.
Yeah, believe it or not, Jerome, I'm not doubting that you're the true victim here. You were kidnapped and locked in a cupboard and fed dog food for years. Like, you're definitely the victim here. You don't have to prove shit to me, mate.
I really missed May during my trips, and I was really happy to see her again. I could see that something was not entirely right when we met at college.
Jerome is now just repeating everything we've just heard again so that the video can be stretched to over 10 minutes. Epic content, guys! These animations are just the video equivalent of those really shitty mobile game ads you get on YouTube.
She put some food on the floor and closed the door again. I was so hungry, but with my hands tied in my back, I had to eat from the floor. It was humiliating.
Okay, so this story is complete horsecock. Obviously, like, it's fake, it's all been made up, that's obvious. But this Storytime animation channel, it's playing it off like it isn't. You know, it wants you to believe that this actually happened, guys. OMG. So for a second, let's go along with their game and pretend that it's real. My Story Animated got a story about a woman that kidnaps her boyfriend, locks him in a cupboard for years, feeds him dog food, and degrades him. And instead of, like, reporting this to the police along with the name of the person that submitted it and any details they have, they go, nah, dude, we need to make some sweet fucking YouTube content out of this. Yeah!
The good thing, if I can call it that, was that as May saw how weak I was, she didn't lock me in the closet anymore. I was free to walk through the house.
Hold on. She lets you out of the closet and you just decide to stay? Are you completely devoid of brain cells?
She started to cry, a lot, and I realized she was fighting with that strange voice in her head. The police didn't take long to arrive. May confessed it was all her fault. They took her away and took me to the hospital. After I recovered, I heard that May was in jail, but she was doing therapy and was getting better. To this day, I cannot hate her. I never could.
Okay, simp.
And so, you just fucking forgive her. I mean, fair enough, she's had a mental breakdown, but still, I'm not sure I could forgive someone after they've done this sort of thing to me, no matter what their excuse is. You can't hate her? Yeah, alright. Jerome, my man, have you been lobotomized? Honestly, the only positive thing that I can say about this video is, at least it didn't end on a fucking cliffhanger.
Hey Brainlet, would you stop shouting at the camera for 2 seconds? I think
Shut up, Tyrone. I'm busy.
I recently found proof that my dad is a real-life cannibal. I should have realized that he was weird when I was a kid. My dad always told me stories about a cannibal tribe in the Brazilian Amazonas.
Oh, really? As a kid, your dad just happened to tell you loads of stories about indigenous cannibal tribes from the Amazon rainforest, did he? When I was a kid, my dad would read me stories like The Hobbit or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. He wouldn't read me stories about humans eating each other. Alright, son, time for your bedtime story. Tonight I'm going to tell you about a psychotic serial killer that murdered 17 people back in 1983.
I went through my dad's wardrobe, and at the bottom, I found a hidden box. When I opened it, I saw several sets of human teeth. It was so creepy. And there was one photo showing my dad wearing those teeth around his head, surrounded by some indigenous jungle people.
You claim that your dad fucked off to the Amazon rainforest or whatever, right? And while he was there, he joined a tribe of cannibalistic warriors who have no connection with the outside world and who have never seen technology before. And then you mean to tell me that your dad took a load of selfies with these people, did he? Come on, at least try and bullshit something vaguely convincing here.
To be honest, if someone wants to eat my corpse after I'm dead, I wouldn't mind. And I recently read on the internet that more and more moms eat their own placentas after giving birth.
Yeah, believe it or not, I don't need you, Mr. Shitty Animation Channel, to tell me the pros and the cons and the ethics of fucking cannibalism, alright? Yeah, I mean, like, it's totally bad and really unethical, but at the same time, if you flame grill a human, it tastes really cool, dude. What do you think? Tell us in the comments below. Leave a like if you like cannibalism. Whoa!
Thank you for listening to my story, and please subscribe to this channel for more animated stories.
A bonus story, is it? Yeah. Lucky us. Piss off. I'm not buying that for a second. They couldn't stretch this particular bullshit story to 10 minutes, so what do? They just slap another short bullshit story on the end so they can get it over the 10-minute mark and reap that ad revenue. Again, just more conclusive proof that, unlike good animation channels, this shit is soulless. They shit this stuff out as quickly as they can. Doesn't matter about the quality or the credibility of the story, or even if the story finishes, actually, because some of them don't. Look, all in all, this stuff is just really very strange, isn't it? From the lackluster animation to the deranged over-the-top stories, everything about these videos is just strange. There's no heart or soul in any of these videos. It's all rushed over to 10 minutes, the quality's awful, and while it's fun, to point and laugh at these videos for those reasons, and at just how moronic they are in general. The more you look at these videos and their thumbnails, the way they're narrated and shit like that, the more you look at these factors, the more you realise that these would be very eye-catching for children. I wouldn't be surprised if the main audience of these Storytime animation channels are kids, because they're the only ones stupid and gullible enough to believe these batshit crazy stories. And honestly, that kind of rubs me the wrong way, because some of these stories are really, really twisted and weird when you think about it. Ask yourself seriously, would you want your kid or a younger sibling of yours watching videos like this? I'm not sure I would. I don't know. What do you think of all this, Tyrone?
You fucking numbskull, why didn't you listen to my warning earlier? I've detected a huge surge of very powerful clickbait entering this dimension. You must have really pissed the Dark Lord off, because this shit hits different.
Christ, really? Why didn't you say so early? Look, it's fine, alright? We've dealt with clickbaiters before, we've had loads of them come to this dimension, and we've stopped every single one of them. We can do it again. I'll go scope this bastard out, see what he's capable of, and if I need help, I'll whistle twice and howl like a wolf, and you can come with your dimension nether powers, whatever they were. I mean, frankly, you've got some demonic-ass powers, Tyrone, and everybody wants to know about your backstory, but nah. Do you really think I'm just going to let that slide? You're going to have to wait to hear the backstory. So you're the spectre of shitty animation, huh?
You seem surprised, Mother Moocake. Were you expecting someone else?
I don't know, I was expecting something a little more physical? What the fuck is this? You're just like a load of dust.
My form is limitless. I can take on any animated body I wish. I usually choose, however, to take on the appearance of whatever my opponent fears the most.
Oh, fuck. Wait a minute. Its form is based on my imagination. That's it. I've just got to imagine it turning into something different. Something I can beat. Something I can destroy.
What are you doing? No, stop this. You dare defy me? You dare defy the spectre of shitty animation?
Well, I guess things turned out pretty shit for you. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Please like this video if you want to hear part 2 of the My Girlfriend Has a Secret Room where she collects pieces of bodies, also she's an alien story. Look, I'm going to level with you here, fellas. I have not got an outro scripted at all. Like, I watched so many of these animation videos and I picked the worst ones and then I wrote a script. And by the time I'd done all that, it was just enough pain. So I've not scripted an outro. I've been through enough torment. So to finish off this video, all I'm going to say is, penis.